Hello everyone, it's Christine here and I am back to share another Stitchery swap square that I have created as part of the great big little Stitchery swap being hosted by the lovely Annie Claxton over at Arty Farty Annie. So this Stitchery swap square that you can see in front of me is for a very special friend called Kimberley. Now Kimberley has been such a wonderful supporter of all my creative adventures, and I have the pleasure of chatting to Kimberley most evenings as part of our little Stitch Along community where we gather together and share in learning a new stitch for the day and have lots of lovely chat and lovely connections. So it's incredibly special for me when I can create something for someone who I've come to know even though we've never met, and as of a number of months ago, we've only known each other less than a year, and yet I feel incredibly connected to and close to these lovely souls that I have met along the journey, and really inspired by the strength and the kindness and just the beautiful spirits of each of the ladies that I am just so lucky to call part of my stitching community. So onto the square. I wanted to take a couple of the things that I knew about Kimberley and incorporate them. So I know that she loves colourful things, and I also know that she loves flowers, and that community is really important to her, and friendship as well. And I wanted to create something that was really, really joyful because Kimberley has had quite a challenging time recently. And so I wanted something that when she opened it, it would just be filled with lots of lovely, lovely little surprises. So you'll only be seeing this video when Kimberley has actually received it and had the fun of opening it. And then I will, share this video, which I'm filming obviously before I send it off to her. So let's start from the front. I'll talk about what's at the back when we get to that, but at the front I've got one of my little hexagon flowers, so made with little Epiflex templates, and I used a range of lovely coordinating fabrics that I got from the sewing layer that are in these beautiful bright colours. And the great thing about the Epiflex templates is you can just sort of sit them, because they're transparent, you can sit them where you want them to be to cut them out. I'm just going to grab one out of the bag. Because I use them with a little bit of Yoo-hoo glue when I stick them on, they've got that sort of coating on them, but otherwise they are sort of transparent, so you can look through them. So they are really great, and they make the job really easy. I will share another tutorial on those, and that I've just backed with some interfacing so that it's just got a flat backing on it, and that's just stitched down at the bottom and then stitched onto this little banner that runs across the piece. So let me bring it up so you can have a little closer look at the banner, which has just a gorgeous little floral scene and a little section in the middle where I have stitched Kimberley's initials. So a little monogram for her, plus two little golden little bead buttons with little hearts on them. And so that's the only place where this is stitched. It's stitched down there and stitched down here, but otherwise it is a pocket. But the great thing is, because it's holding here and holding there, nothing will fall out of it. So everything stays secure in it, even if this was like hanging up on a wall or even sitting on a surface. Unless it kind of got turned up this way, then things might fall out of it, but otherwise it stays nice and sturdy. I used my Wonderful Razzle thread for that, a variegated thread with a lovely pink and then blue. So that's that. Oh, and then this is from a Kathy Holden fabric, which has lots of lovely different sort of vintage images on it. And as you can see, I'm eating into it on a very regular basis, finding lots of yummy, lovely things to use as part of this project, and I'll be adding some of them actually to my Roxy Journal of Stitchery as well. It's just such a fabulous fabric. So let's start to take out a few bits and pieces out of the pocket. So first up, this one's from the Kathy Holden fabric, and it's just a really sweet little fan, and I've then backed it onto a fabric that has little fan shapes on it, and you might have seen that in one of my other squares that I've shared recently, and so I've used another variegated Wonderfill razzle thread to stitch all the way around the two edges where the two fabrics join together. And that just gives it a lovely finish as well. You can almost use as a little fan. I know it gets nice and warm where Kimberley is in the summer that they've been having. She's had some nice days when she can have barbecues and swim with her family. So thought that was a nice little summer reference, and a little garden scene with a little lady there in the garden, and then just, yeah, the beautiful, very cheerful back on it with the lovely gold work. So I thought that was fun, and it was nice just to use a understated variegated thread there, and then I just used some gold thread along this little edge. So it actually, yeah, it feels nice. Then I've got this little pouch that I have made, and again this one was from a Kathy Holden, from that Kathy Holden fabric, and it just had a blank section for a little sort of book in the middle, and I again used a different coloured razzle thread to write loved, so to let Kimberley know she is very much loved by me and by all of our little community. And then I've got one of my antique mother of pearl buttons stitched on there, and again that fabric is the same as the one I've used down here, so I just thought, yeah, nice to bring the greens from here over there, and then I've used a coordinating red into sort of pinky coloured variegated razzle thread for the outside as well. And then inside the pouch is a little special note for Kimberley herself. So I do love making pouches within pouches. And then we have, I just adore this. I was really happy how it came out. You never, when you're working on it, you sort of think, oh, how's it looking? But as you get around, it's just, yeah, again, it's that massing of thread and painting. So this is, painting with thread. And I wanted to do a beautiful thread painted flower for Kimberley, and I had this fabric recently, which is all different little pansy designs. So I thought they were just so lovely to do as little thread painted designs and to make into a little stitched square. And then I thought this area, which was sort of shaded light around it, would be great to put little seed beads on. And so with the painting with thread, I used a thicker razzle variegated thread in the center. So that one variegates from a very light purple to a darker purple, and I basically just chose where I put the stitches based on what color the thread was and where I wanted to have the light and the dark. But when you're doing it, you're really just following where the accents are in the coloration of the fabric anyway, so it actually makes the job really easy. It might look really complicated, but if I can do it, you can absolutely do it too. And then I just use some regular, just normal sort of, I think it's actually sewing machine thread from Alex's mum, and yeah, use that in two different colours of that just to put the accents on. But I think that's come out really lovely. And then on the back, I've got my little Love CO, which I've been putting on using my little vintage French laundry labels, which are just stitched on. And then this is that beautiful Japanese style fabric that I've also used in another recent square, and I just love it, and I think it's so cheerful and so bright, and I thought that would just be perfect. So I've used that as the backing. So I first of all sewed on this piece of fabric separately, did all the thread painting and beading on this piece of fabric, then I put them together and I used a metallic purple thread to stitch all around the edges. So that's now just a really nice little sort of a little card, I guess, like a little swap card, a little painted card, like a little painting, I guess, that can just sit within the pouch with the other goodies. And then I've used a single piece of this gorgeous backing fabric. Let me just see if I've got that sitting nearby. Yes, I do. So that's the beautiful design, and the brand of it, or the name of it, is Tropical Twist, designed by the Woodrow Studio, London. But I got this secondhand vintage, so I don't know whether it's a older or a newer design, but I just think it is so wonderfully cheerful. And then I have used my variegated in all my sort of rainbow variegated thread from the Razzle, Sue Spargo Razzle thread to go round and do stitching all the way around. And I'm just trying to remember the name of this stitch. It's one that we did in our stitch along. I'm just going to quickly prompt myself for the name of it. I think it's German. What on earth is it called? I'm going back through my video names to find the name of it. We will get there. German knotted. I will see if I can find it. It was a really great stitch, and what I love about it, while I find it, is that it looks like little people holding hands. It's just such a sweet little stitch. I think I'm almost getting German knotted blanket stitch. So there you go. And you can even, I think in Annie Claxton's card that I did for her, or a square that I did for her, I put little like heads on the people, but otherwise it just, looks like little legs and hands, all holding hands all the way around. Again, it sort of blends in with the background, but the lovely thing is because it's such a silky and thick thread, when you touch it, you can absolutely feel it. And I know that will be lovely for Kimberley to receive, because as I say, she's been part of our little stitch along community and such an important part of that. And then, I'll be sending her a little bit of ticking. We can only send 50 grams in our card-only packages overseas, so I had to sort of, limit what I could send, and particularly because there's quite a few bits in this already, and I've also got just a little collection of small buttons for her, because I know she particularly loves buttons as well. So I hope you enjoyed having a look at, the little package of my little Stitchery square with little hidden and special extras for the much loved and cared for Kimberley. So there you go. Have a wonderful evening or a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to everyone that does leave a like, a comment, or subscribe, or all three. It's just, it lets me know that I'm sharing something that you're interested in. So thank you so much. Take care, and I will chat to you soon. Bye, everyone.